everybody. Welcome to Real Estate for Real People. I'm Kimberly Adams-Mann.
And I'm Russell Mann of Shore West Realtors and TAMThomes.com.
And I think it might be possible, Russ, that both your mic and my mic are working, and that our camera is working,
Woohoo!
and it's 7 o'clock.
Wow.
I know, it's a bumper day for us here.
Wait for our superfan to let us know that we're not working.
Yeah, so superfan, let us know if you cannot hear us. Actually, I'm going to unmute for half a second. And that's probably the case. Probably nobody can hear us. Here we go, thinking everybody can hear us.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, can you hear us? Oh my goodness. It looks like they can hear us. Oh, it's all good. Thank you, superfan. We appreciate that. Oh. All right, so that's fantastic, because at first there we weren't sure if we could be heard because we can't hear it on our side. So, but all of our mic things are going vroom, vroom, vroom when we talk, so
Yeah.
we're just going to have to assume. So it's all good, hopefully. All right, so first of all, what's happening this week, Russ? What have you had happen this week? Anything good?
I've had 2 accepted offers.
Yep, and I've had 1.
That's really good for my clients.
Yep.
And
we're actually through inspection on all 3 of them. We're working through inspection.
Well, we're just working through inspections. 1, we've already got a response back.
Done.
We're all
Dusted.
signed. That's all done. And we're working on the other 2.
Yeah, the other 2 are in negotiations right now.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to do some follow-up inspections on one of them. And if it's really big, bad, and ugly, then we're not going to have an offer anymore. But I have a feeling on mine that the seller will negotiate because...
Yeah, and I have a feeling on mine,
that you'll come to terms.
Done.
Yeah, sometimes we don't, but I think this time we are going to. So I'm pretty confident on that.
We're looking promising.
We're looking promising. We'll see. But otherwise, we've got a couple of things. We do have a closing this week that all of a sudden came up that we didn't really know about. Well, I've been working with a customer for new construction for months. Like we started back in February.
Well, we helped them buy the
we started back in February buying the
first.
vacant land first, and then now we've gotten to the new construction phase. And the thing is, you don't really find out until like a week before because it's not the same kind of contract as a traditional contract. So you don't have a set closing date per se. But we now have a closing date for this week, so we'll be going, or I'll be going to that.
Yeah.
And we'll see where we go with that. So, yay, hooray! So exciting. And new construction is definitely something that people are getting into right now.
Yeah. So I think because the prices are not terrible, and you're getting a brand new property. So,
and there's a lot of appealing things about a brand new property for sure. So, but let's jump right into it because we have a lot to cover this week. Oh my goodness, so much has happened. So we're going to go down here, and this week in real estate news, I just went woof, just through those.
Wow.
I realized I wasn't on the right slide to start with. All right, this week in real estate news. Russell, you don't even know what I've pulled up for real estate news this week. But here's the first thing. 9 cities that are going to become unaffordable by 2025. Now, 2025, what it's actually saying is that in the next 5 years, because they're basing it on that, in the year 2025. So in 5 years from now, they're expecting these 9 cities are going to be, the pricing in the cities is going to go well above the median price point in the United States, which will make them unaffordable for the average worker in those areas. Wow. So if you take the average worker, like what the average pay is in that area, and then you divide it by the numbers of what the cost of the homes are, it's going to become unaffordable in these 9 cities in the next 5 years. So here's the key.
So I know they did a similar thing a few years back, and Racine was the most affordable.
These are the ones that are going to be least affordable.
Unaffordable.
Least affordable, yeah. No,
wow.
There is no such thing as
the
unaffordable.
Well,
but if you are already in these places and you want to buy, this is the time to buy right now, because 5 years, you may not be able to buy. So let's take a look at what those are. Those 9 cities are Charlotte, North Carolina, not South Carolina, North Carolina, Spokane, Washington, St. Petersburg, Florida, which makes
Oh.
us a little bit worried because that's the
Yeah.
area we want to retire in. So, but then we won't be working necessarily in that area much. So
Yeah,
the
so the
income
wages doesn't really...
the income is not
yeah.
that big of a deal.
Uh-huh.
But Charlotte, North Carolina, Spokane, Washington, St. Pete, Florida, Irving, Texas, Port St. Lucie, Florida, which is actually, if you don't know where that is, it's on the other side of Florida. So St. Pete's on the Gulf side. Port St. Lucie is between Fort Lauderdale and Miami, over in that area.
Right. We're going down there in
We're going to be
January.
there in January, but
Yeah.
we're not going to be buying anything in January. Lawrenceville, Georgia, which is just outside of Atlanta. It's one of the suburbs of Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
Rochester, Minnesota. Grand Prairie, Texas. And Irving, Texas. And then Kissimmee, Florida. Which, for those of you that don't know where Kissimmee, Florida is, it is right outside of...
That's
basically where Disney is.
Disney is,
Yeah,
yeah.
Disney's right next door to Kissimmee.
Orlando.
Yeah, so it's right next door to Orlando, and those are going to be markets that will be
Wow.
not affordable for the average person by the year 2025.
Three places in Florida.
Yeah, Florida, and I think it might have something to do with the fact of all the baby boomers that may be retiring.
Yeah.
And I know Texas is a really big hotspot for retirees as well.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not sure if that's causing some of that or if wages are just low. I know wages in Florida are not very high overall, but then they don't have state income tax either there. So that
Yeah,
is definitely a
could help.
factor.
Yeah. But the good news is none of them are in
Well,
Wisconsin.
the good news for our customers,
Our
yes,
customers,
but
yeah.
the other 9. But if you live in any of these 9 cities or right near them, this might be the time to buy. Because if you buy now, it's still affordable. In 5 years' time, you may not be able to afford, and that's kind of important.
You might have to move to Wisconsin.
And if you're
And
in
then we can help
Florida,
you.
and if you're in Florida or North Carolina or Texas, any of those, we're not going to be warmer. So if you're looking for warmer, you better buy now. Now Rochester, Minnesota, we're pretty even with them as far as cold. So that part not so bad. All right. So moving on, we do have another interesting thing that we're going to talk about today. Russ, you want to start off by talking about this?
Yeah, the NAR
The National Association of Realtors
met with the chiefs of some of the MLSs, the local multiple listing services.
Well, that's been
which all
happening for
realtors have
weeks.
to use. They had a meeting and a vote.
Well, they had the NAR board because
yeah.
because the National Association of Realtors had their conference last week. That's the one we normally go to, and we're not going to moan about that. But we got really sad because
You've been sulking all week.
I was sulking all week. I will admit, because I really missed not going this year.
Uh-huh.
But the Monday after the conference, they always have a huge national board meeting. And at that board meeting, they pass a number of different things.
Yeah.
But I think one of the most significant ones, and it was overwhelming that they passed it. I mean, it passed
Yeah.
overwhelmingly positive, is they approved the pocket listing policy. They approved a pocket listing policy. Now, previously, previously the NAR had not had a policy on this. They left that up to the individual MLSs. And now the NAR has its own policy, so it doesn't matter what MLS that you're in. If you're a realtor, not a real estate agent, but a realtor.
There's a difference.
And there is a difference. And if you want to really have a fun time knowing about it, go watch the what's the name? Modern Family, where Phil Dunphy, you can Google it, where Phil Dunphy explains the difference between a realtor and a real estate agent. It's an amusing way to talk about it. But to be a realtor, you have to be a member of the National Association of Realtors. And you have to be in good standing. You have to hold a certain ethics policy and things like that. But we are no longer allowed to have what are essentially what some markets call a pocket listing. Now, a pocket listing depends on where you are and what your local MLS called a pocket listing. In Wisconsin, not too big of a deal. Because here in Wisconsin, it really doesn't affect us too much. Our MLS wouldn't let us hold anything for more than 48 hours.
Yeah,
And in Wisconsin, you can't advertise unless you have a signed contract and it's the start date of the contract. You can't advertise the property. And the MLS here said you got 48 hours to get it over to the MLS before you get a fine and things like that. And 48 hours, I think, is actually reasonable. What's interesting is that the NAR has adopted the policy of
24 hours
Well,
or one
or
business
one business day.
So if you took a listing on a Saturday, you're not going to have to have it in on a Sunday. You
Right.
can, it'll wait till Monday to go on the MLS. But it does stop some agents that have been keeping them in their pocket for weeks on end.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it'll pop up on the MLS as already sold.
Yeah.
And you think, how did that happen? Never saw that even come up.
Yeah.
And so it's to stop that.
Right, because it's about cooperation and about so depending on your market, what a pocket listing is defined as. However, no matter what your market now, it's 24. It's one business day after you've advertised it to the public. Now, advertising to the public means that if you have your own private newsletter or email blast, and it's not just a realtor in your office, that means you've told the public about it.
Yep.
So that means within 24 hours, and there's one company, Compass, who's really not happy about that because they've been holding on to stuff for weeks. And
So they can sell it to their own clients. Yeah.
Not in this area. We don't have Compass here in Wisconsin, so it hasn't really affected us too much. But in other markets where the MLSs didn't monitor this and didn't have policies on it, it is going to be a huge deal to some of them. It starts January 1st as a requirement. And as a kind of sort of bedding in period, they're going to have lower fines or slaps on the wrist until May to kind of give people the chance to get used to it. Because if you've been in the practice of doing this for a long time, And honestly, I mean, I actually did this, but not for weeks because that's not allowed in Wisconsin. But I do actually promote my properties day one, and I hold them off the MLS. Well, right now we were holding them off the MLS for 2 days. What we allow anybody to go see them, and other agents can show it as well. So if other agents saw the advertisement, they were allowed to as well. But what it did is it built up a feeding frenzy, and then when it hit the MLS, then we had like tons of showings, and it was really more of a coming soon type of a marketing. Even though it was available immediately, it was more like a coming soon type thing. Yeah. But this stops people from being able to like purposefully exclude other agents, buyers from seeing the property. So I personally think this is a good move from the NAR.
Do as well.
Yeah. I think it actually makes things more cooperative.
NAR.
Yeah.
For seeing the problems there and working to deal with it.
Yeah, and it's interesting because there were so many people that were speaking out against this when they were talking it through. It's interesting how overwhelming. It was like 792 board members or something like that.
Yeah.
To 82. It's like, there's almost 900 board members and almost 800 of them said yes and only less than 100 said no. So really good policy and definitely a good idea. So, moving on, we have some new on the market. Russ, what is our new on the market this week?
Yes, we have some lovely properties for you this week. We've got 2110 Dwight Street. That's in the 75 to 150 market.
Yeah.
And this one is a 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom with a 2.5 car detached garage. And it's on the market for $125,000.
That's great. That's a great price. And this is one of our favorite agents over at Coldwell Banker, Sabina. We love working with her. So she's amazing.
She's a great agent.
She's a great agent. She is related to the seller of this property, kind of. So anyway, just so that you're aware of that. But if you want to see this property, we would love, love, love to show it to you because we love Sabina.
Yeah.
And here's picture number 1. What do you want to say,
So
Russ?
it's a nice one-story ranch. I was waiting for you to show all the pictures.
Well, we're showing the first picture.
Okay.
Here's the outside of the picture.
Yeah. So this is 864 square foot, and it has a full basement, so it's not a stairless one. So that's good. And look at the clean lines. It's all been upgraded, so it looks really good. It's got newer windows, new cabinets, countertops, backsplash, flooring. It looks like it's all been done for you. So it'll be move-in ready.
Oh,
Fantastic.
I hate that word, though, because you just never know. But yeah, everything has been done here. That's a really nice looking kitchen. All new kitchen cupboards, countertops, new flooring, new AC, it's got a new AC and a new furnace, she told me.
Newly refinished hardwood floors, freshly painted walls. new efficient windows
And it's
throughout.
actually a pretty decent little neighborhood over there by Mitchell Schools. So a lot of people really like the Dwight area. So it's and a huge garage, 2.5 car detached garage. That's a really nice bonus on a
That's cool.
property like this. So, all right, what's next? 150 to 250. We have
that one is
2511 Martha Avenue.
1511.
What?
1511
Oh goodness.
Martha Avenue.
Folks, give us just 1 second. There you go.
Yeah, so 1511 Martha Avenue in Mount Pleasant. It's a 4-bed, 1.5 bath with a 2-car attached garage. And it's almost 2,000 square feet. It's 1998. And it's on the market for $249,000.
Well, you know what? I have to fix this because I am just far too. I don't know why I thought it was 2511 Martha.
Did you have your glasses on?
Whatever. Whatever. Okay. There. Now we are better. Ta-da! Through the magic of the internet. 1511 Martha Avenue.
You knew it was that all along.
I did.
So it's 1511.
4-bed, 1.5 bath, 2-car garage. It's courtesy of Shore West Realtors. John Feiner in our office. So love working with John.
It's been updated. 4-bedroom home within the Gifford School District. So that's a great school district to be in.
Now, I will tell you that generally speaking we wouldn't, but I think the home is great. There is, in the pictures though, there are a lot of, it looks like this family has outgrown this house. And there's quite a bit of stuff, kids stuff, in some of the pictures. But we've pulled some pictures that we really like. You can see, first of all, that not only does it have a 2-car garage, but it also has space on the side for an additional vehicle. Or if you wanted to park an RV there, you wouldn't have to rent a storage unit anymore or a boat or something. So you've got this great parking next to the garage as well.
And it had a new roof in 2015 as well. So
basically
you haven't
brand
got
new.
to worry about that.
Yep.
For quite a few years.
Now he's got a great kitchen, and this
Look at
picture,
the length of that.
And this picture is not stretched. It's not really stretched. We actually took a look at other photos of this, and it is a nice long piece of countertop there. Is it granite? Does it say? I don't know if it says or not.
It looks like granite.
Yep, but I don't want to say it's granite if we don't know. There's nothing on the listing that tells us for sure, but whatever it is polished up really nice. So it's either brand new laminate or that is granite. It does look like granite just from the cut of the sink as well.
Yeah.
And the shine that's on there. So, but great kitchen, nice long galley. There's also more countertop opposite of it next to the fridge there. You just can't see it in this shot, but really nice long. And then this shot of the backyard. So nice.
Huge backyard. You can see where that car's parked. That's where you would be parking your RV or your boat. So yeah, you've got great space there. And there is actually, where the camera is situated, behind that there is a shed.
Yes. So right where, actually about where they're standing,
Yeah.
right about where the photographer is standing, there's an additional shed as well, which is great for all the summer stuff.
Yeah, for your lawnmower and stuff like that as
Yeah,
well.
it's great for all like the summer, the you know, that patio table and chairs and all that stuff. You can just take it out once and be done with it for the summer. All right, so it's 250 to 350. Hopefully I got this address right. 6588 83rd.
Correct.
Oh, yay!
Yes.
I got one right. That's awesome.
So this one is a 4-bedroom again, 2.5 bath with a 2.5 car attached garage.
And it's courtesy of Remax Newport Elite.
This is 2569 square feet, so 2,500 square feet above grade.
Wow.
And this one is on the market for $334,900.
$334,900. That's actually not a bad price for Pleasant Prairie to begin with, especially for a 4-bed with 2.5 baths.
And all the bedrooms are good size, so you.
Well, that's why it's got the 2,500 square feet above grade, because it's got.
You know,
it doesn't
the
look like it
master
has
is
a finished...
13 by 16, but all the others are the smallest room. The smallest bedroom is 11 by 10, so
that's all
they're good sizes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a family room, a dining room, a rec room.
It's got a master that's 16 by 13, and then the second bedroom is actually 14 by 10. Then 12 by 10, then 11 by 10. Wow, those are big bedrooms.
Yeah.
For the smallest to be 11 by 10, that's amazing. That's really a nice, good-sized bedroom. All right. So there's the front. There's that nice big master, that 16 by 13 master. Lots of space in there. And of course you can see the attached bath to that as well. And that amazing kitchen.
Yeah, the kitchen's 10 by 21.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
So not only does it have this U-shape section here where like the appliances are, over here you've got this whole U-shape. It looks like they've got a separate island with like 4 stools here.
Yeah.
Nice, with matching countertop and everything. That looks really cool. Love that one.
Yep.
Good job, Jan. It's Jan Fuller from Remax that's got that one, so well done. And thankfully this time everybody that we called actually did say yes. So,
Yeah.
but mostly because the people that we had to call this time were people that, well, one of them we didn't know, this next one, we've never met him before, but the other 2, we know them and we've met them and worked with them and great agents. So,
Yeah.
here we go, 350 to 5.
This one is 12...
12611.
Yeah, that's
374th Avenue. Wow, that's a lot of numbers in an address.
Yeah, in Twin Lakes.
Yeah, but that's a lot of numbers in an address.
It is. I know. I never know how to say that.
1,200.
12611.
Yeah,
12
611, 374th.
It's like a phone number.
Okay, so 12611 374th Avenue, 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. This one has a 3-car attached garage.
Yeah.
And it's courtesy of Remax Advantage Realty. And Remax Advantage is based out of Illinois, just to make you aware of that. So this is an Illinois agent who has dual licensing across the border. And it's got some great features.
So this is another large house. It's 2,300 square foot above grade. So it's 2,347 above grade. The house was built in 97, so it's not too old.
It has over 5 acres with it.
Yes. 5.25 acres.
Wow, that's a lot of land. I hope you have a good
is.
lawnmower if you want to buy this. You need a big old riding lawnmower for this. Now, I'm going to kind of fly past the first slide here, guys. I'm not really sure what, and actually, we'd like to call this agent back and let him know because I don't think he even is aware that the photo, his main photo he uploaded is actually...
tiny.
Is very tiny. And I think what happened was he was sent a sample photo, which happens sometimes with photographers, and then they send them the real photos because only the first 2 photos are this tiny thing. The rest of his photos are amazing. So you can kind of see what it looks like, but it is going to be really grainy and blurry because that's
to get it that big, it's
so unfortunately it's a little grainy there, but look at that kitchen. Now so you can see what I mean when the rest of his photos are looking amazing.
I mean, that's so open plan, the whole.
Now you do have to like white.
Floor. You do, because it's very minimalist.
I'm guessing they don't have
white.
a lot of children living there.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah. It's a little too white for me overall, but paint's easy. You can come in and paint, or just add a lot of soft furnishings
It
with
needs
colors.
an accent wall or a lot of soft,
Yeah.
Because you're
Some
a
great
master with the
curtains.
soft furnishings when
Thank
you stage.
you.
And so, Kimberly would come in with some colourful cushions on the seats and make it look spectacular.
Yeah, so definitely really cool property though. With a bit of staging would be amazing looking.
Yeah. And that's what caught my eye, the ceiling.
So that's not the same. So here's what's interesting. That's not the same as the kitchen. If you can see the second chandelier that looks identical to this, look, see that one right there? The chandelier looks the same as this chandelier. But if you notice the ceiling's different, these are in 2 different rooms.
Yeah, the kitchen's actually through that.
You can see the kitchen back there. It's like back here in this area.
Yeah.
See that other chandelier right there? And this is like the big main living area. That is amazing.
And that crossed in the ceiling.
I love that shiplap. Look at that shiplap in the ceiling there with the diagonal pattern to it though.
Yeah.
That's a very cool
looks
feature.
Really good. Yeah.
That's a really nice feature. All right, so
that's
moving on.
why I chose that house.
Moving on to our over 500K. So last week, if you remember, our over 500K, we did not have a property for it because the only one that we found, the agent said no, as far as they wouldn't let us.
And guess
show
what? We don't have one this week either.
And we don't have one this week, but not for the same reason.
No.
This week is not because an agent said no. It's because there literally were no true new listings.
No, not new listings. There were still properties out there for over 500,000.
Yeah.
But we set our criteria that they have to be new on the market this week.
Meaning it can't just be because their contract expired and they relisted with the same agent, you know, when their contract expired, and they just did a relist and it has a new number. A new number doesn't make it a new property on the market.
No.
People have already seen it. So it has to be that. Now, if there's been a few months between a listing, like maybe it was listed in the spring, came off in May or June, and then they relisted it in the fall, then absolutely. Then it's new and available now to buyers who may not have been around in June.
Yeah.
But no, none of the properties that were listed this week at the 500 and over range were new listings.
Yeah. So
we have
we're not
nothing
there.
to show you
nothing.
for this week on 500,000.
No.
Very sad. Very, very sad.
So what happened at our open house today? We got to meet lots of people.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we did another open house at the same address as before, 4837 Lathrop Avenue last week in Mount Pleasant.
Yeah.
Russ did an open house there. The price was $364.9. And at $364.9, how many people did you have through last week?
We had 14 groups through last week.
14 groups through last
So
week.
that was really good. Well,
Yep.
I was all on my own, so I was very busy.
Yes, very busy.
This week we done it together. So Kimberly came along
Yeah.
as well, and we did the property again. And we still had some nice.
So we
people
had
come
some
through,
good
so
news,
we had
bad
about
news.
10.
We had 10 groups through the property
One
today.
of them being a previous client, which was really nice to see them.
Yes.
Because they brought their new baby along as well.
Yay!
So we got to meet the baby for the first time. So
Yay!
that was
So Eric and
phenomenal.
Lauren, if you're
Yeah.
watching this or you watch
Yeah.
it later, thanks so much for stopping in. It was so much fun to see you and the baby.
Kimberly got to be
I got to
babysit
babysit
for a little while.
because while they were they were actually taking one of their relatives around the house to take a look at it. And while they were, rather than him having to carry the baby up the stairs and then down the stairs to the basement, he's like, "Well, can I just?" He goes, "I'm just going to leave the baby." I love them because they're so cool.
Yeah.
They're not like normal first parents. You know, some of these first parents are like, "So, I can't leave I can't."
Yeah.
No, he's like, "I'm going to dump the baby over here," and I'm like, "No, Eric, bring him over here. Bring him over here."
Yeah.
So we put him on the countertop, and I stood there and played with him, and
Yeah.
he was making all
Cool.
this. He's really little, like just like, you know, what, month and a half old, I think,
Yeah.
isn't he? Yeah. So that's why we haven't stopped to see them, because he's just so tiny still. So so that was a
So
lot
that
of
was
fun.
really, really nice
I got
to
to
catch up
be
with
Auntie
those.
Kimberly for a little
Yeah.
bit and play with the baby.
Yeah, so that was cool to catch up with them. It
Absolutely.
was really good.
But here's the bad news for everybody that came to the open house, and we did tell them this when they first came in. The house got an accepted offer this morning. So
Good news for the seller.
Great news for the
Not
seller.
so good news for the people coming to the open house.
But we still did the open house because
Yeah.
we think it's important that once you've advertised an open house, we sent out an email blast yesterday to almost 400 people letting them know about it. We had a sign on the house all week saying open Sunday, and it was advertised on Shore West and on Realtor and on the MLS. Like,
Yeah.
all across, everything was saying that. We don't like to just pull the open house away and then people show, because people do still show up. And obviously people
Yeah.
still would have shown
and
up.
then, you
So-
know, that doesn't make us look good because
Then it looks like
we've
we're a no-show.
advertised it and
Yeah,
and
we
then
don't have any
it doesn't
signs to
happen.
be able to say, hey, this open house was canceled due to an accepted offer.
Yeah.
And the reality is it was only accepted this morning, so you just never know.
It was only accepted this morning whilst we was at. Was it just before we?
It was just
at
before we
church?
left for church.
So-
But it was only accepted this morning, which means they haven't gotten through inspection or appraisal or any of those
Yeah,
issues,
so-
if there are any. And so it still might come available again. And so we also had a chance to educate some people about what a secondary offer is,
Yeah.
and how a secondary offer can be really awesome. Can be a real help to the seller. It can actually be a help to those buyers who may have missed out on the property that they
And
wanted.
it also lets sellers know that, you know, now this house went on the market last week
12 days.
at a higher price.
Yep.
And then they dropped the price
To $349.9
almost at the end of the week,
Thursday.
and they had an accepted offer by Sunday.
Yep. And
which
that's what
just
happens.
shows if it's at the right price,
It sells very quickly.
you're going to get that offer in.
Yeah.
So for sellers out there that are looking, It is. It is
And-
having that price just right.
And people who were coming through, that's one of the things that we were able to emphasize to them is that
Yeah.
as soon as it dropped below, we talked to them a little bit about pricing as well, because some of them have houses to sell. When they were talking to us, that's what they were talking about, and we talked to them about how when you drop it at that 350 and those benchmark numbers basically for each category and
Yeah.
how that can make a difference, because some people won't be looking over 350, and this wouldn't have even dropped into their radar until the price
Until
dropped
the
to
price dropped.
349.9.
And then
So-
all of a sudden, bang, they've got an accepted offer.
Yep. And now
Yeah.
they're heading hopefully towards a successful closing. So
Yeah.
that
So
sounds great.
That's really good.
Yeah. So we actually have, I keep saying the word so. Ugh. It is one of my worst habits, and I'm trying so hard on my
You said it
taped
again.
videos. I'm trying very hard on my taped videos. Trying very hard on my taped videos not to use that S word. And it's very difficult for me because it's a transition word that I use a lot.
Yes.
And I was about to say so and transition into something else. But what's interesting is what Russ was talking about with pricing and everything. Our video on Friday that's already in the can and uploaded, it's set for a premiere on Friday, does talk about what's the worst question that somebody can ask about your house if it's on the market. So we're not going to tell you what it is. You got to watch the video on Friday to find out. But what is the very worst question that anybody can ask about your home when you have it listed? So you can tune in on Friday. It drops, I think, at 11 a.m. It shows up on the channel. You can see it. It's a premiere. It's already set to go. So we've already done all of that. We're going to go on to our tip of the week. And once again, Russ does not know anything about the tip of the week. And this is very much a Kimberly style tip of the week.
I know nothing.
He knows nothing at all. So our tip of the week this week is going to be about Thanksgiving table decoration tips, because we've got Thanksgiving coming up in a couple of weeks here.
Yeah, we're going to decorate our table.
No.
We're not.
No.
We're going to eat.
We're going
off
to decorate
the
it with
tray.
a turkey.
Yeah. Lovely turkey. I love turkey.
This year for Thanksgiving, we've decided we're going to actually stay home. We normally do go up to my parents, but my one sister and her boyfriend can't attend because, well, they work for a large conglomeration
Yeah.
retail store. Both of them work for two different stores because they can't work together because they're in a relationship.
Couple. Yeah.
Right. But they work in two different major retail outlet stores, and they can't come to Thanksgiving because of Black Friday stuff and all of that. And then our other brother-in-law, he can't even have Thanksgiving until the evening. And with us being down here and going up there and then trying to come back, it was just, we went, this year
Yeah.
we're going to have Thanksgiving here in Racine, just for a change.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of things. One, I would highly recommend that if you don't have a place to go for Thanksgiving and you're in the Racine area, go to Dan and Ray's Rendering Thanks downtown in Racine. It is every year they hold it down.
We've been down there before.
Mm-hmm.
We've helped, or you've helped.
I've helped,
Um,
and you just ate.
Yes, I helped. I helped get rid of some of the turkey.
And of course, when we go, we always donate, but this is not a required donation. So if you go to Dan and Ray's Rendering Thanks downtown Racine, you just don't have money, or you're really down on your luck, or you need to have your spirits lifted, it's a great event to go to.
It is a great event. They
It's
have
got all,
music
everything is
going
sponsored.
on.
Everything is sponsored,
Yeah.
so you don't have to pay anything, and you can have a really nice, enjoyable family meal as well. They've got lots of sponsors that are always there, and those of us who can afford a Thanksgiving meal, if we go, we usually donate if we eat. I don't think we'll eat this year, though. We'll probably just maybe go and help or stop in just to say hi to people or
Yeah,
something.
just stuff in. Stay high,
Because we do have a turkey here at home. So.
And because we're keto, it's a little bit awkward because we won't be able to eat a lot of the stuff.
No potatoes,
we
no
could eat
stuffing.
the turkey, but no gravy, no stuffing,
No potatoes, yeah.
Yeah, so we might as well eat here, and we can do Brussels
And radishes.
and radishes.
So you can have your potato substitutes.
Yes.
So we're going to do Thanksgiving here at home, but we have some great tips for you guys for your Thanksgiving tables. So I'm all about simplicity and practicality, pragmatic things. So here's our tips for the week. First of all, number one tip, decorate by incorporating the food into the decor. Notice I've got a nice bottle of wine there.
In a pumpkin.
In a
box,
pumpkin, yes. So
pumpkin ice
So
bucket.
exactly, it's a pumpkin that's been hollowed out and painted or even a fake pumpkin. Just put a liner in it. Put a plastic pumpkin, put a liner in it, put some ice in it, put the wine in. Perfect. Because now you've got part of your Thanksgiving dinner and part of and so you've got a really nice cute decoration and you've got part of the dinner there as well. Because I don't know about you, but at our family's table at Thanksgiving, sometimes you have like an extra table with extra food on it. And if there's too many decorations, there's no room for the food. So if there's any food items that you have for the meal, incorporate that into your decorations. I've seen people do things like hollow out like mini pumpkins and use them as soup bowls as part of the decoration and things of that nature. And so there's all sorts of little things you can do. So decorate by incorporating your food into the decor. That is tip number one. We're actually going to do more than one tip.
See, I actually like Thanksgiving because, I mean, it's a new concept for me when I moved over here because in the UK we don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
They don't, for some reason, they don't celebrate us Americans leaving and surviving without them. Can't imagine why.
Ask King George.
This is true.
I'll be back.
So, I mean, Thanksgiving's great and it's got some great things to it. It's kind of a new concept for us. But the next one is keep it simple. Now, okay, it's the KISS thing. Keep it simple. Now, of course, we don't think you're stupid. So, but it's still the KISS concept. Keeping something really simple. If you want to have candles on the table, great. Why don't you just take some simple gourds, hollow them out, put them together, boom, candle holders. Right?
Look good.
Exactly. Something kind of fun. Yeah. So keep it simple.
Use an apple core or something.
Yeah, exactly.
To make the hole in them and then
you just use like an apple or a watermelon baller because you don't have to put. So on these right here,
go all the way through.
You could just actually like glue these two together and then just hollow out the top one. Yep, you don't have to hollow out both of them. Just the top one needs to be a little hollow there.
Yeah.
So you could use a core from an apple or
get a glue gun or something.
Yep, a watermelon thing, whatever. Nice. So I thought that was a really cute picture to kind of illustrate just keep things kind of simple. Because you don't want to overclutter it. You also want to make sure that you're keeping the decorations kind of low. Because Thanksgiving is so much about family and friends and community. That
you don't want a big bouquet of flowers so you can't see the person that's sitting opposite you.
It's great to have a beautiful centerpiece or whatever. But if you can keep the decorations low and spread across the table more, it actually helps to enhance the conversation a bit. So I thought this picture was really great because, again, it's also another keeping it simple one because they've just taken standard white candles and just wrapped some paper around them with letters. It just says giving thanks. Isn't that simple? Mm-hmm. I thought that was really cool. Yeah. So, and then our last tip is actually for the kids. So give the kids something to do because, you're all going around the table and saying what you're thankful for. And, those kids are sitting at the kids' table and they're so bored. And then, the cousins start kicking each other under the table. And they start doing stuff they shouldn't do because they're waiting for all the adults to be thankful. Because they're kids. That's normal. So what's a great idea? I thought this was a really, really great looking thing. So they've used craft paper as the table decoration, like as the tablecloth. They've got like a roll of craft paper.
That's a good idea.
And they've drawn a square for a placemat for each plate. And then they've got a couple of little bits here. These have crayons in them. So each kid has a little thing with crayons or colored pencils or something like that.
Make a drawing.
Yes. So they can maybe make a drawing. Maybe they can draw what their favorite thing about Thanksgiving is. Or they can, if they can write words, they can, maybe say what they're thankful for by writing it on. And if it's really good, you might want to then cut it apart and send it home with each of the kids so that they can enjoy it. Or if you're a grandma and grandpa and are really proud of them, then you can just maybe sign their name after dinner and hang it up. Unless, of course, they get food all over it, and then it gets thrown away. But it's something great to help keep the kids busy, help keep them happy.
And it's a cheap way
really
of doing
inexpensive and really simple, and it's not a big deal because there's not a lot of stuff for them to spill all over the table. So cool. I thought that was a really cute idea.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I thought it was a really cute idea. So if you want any more table decorating tips, we actually got these off of a website. You can just Google 65 decorating tips for for Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
And you can go through all 65 of them if you want. Honestly, I just
Some
thought,
of these might be a good idea for Christmas as well.
yep, they can also work for Christmas as well. But Thanksgiving's a lot more about community and extended family sometimes. So I thought these were really great things. So we've had there we go, sewing again. We've had a really great week this week. Hopefully you've had a great week as well. Hopefully you've been able to learn something from what we've given today. Also, I'm doing my best. Also, we did not have a Tuesday tour this week because there was no tour in our office. We're hoping that this week there will be a tour. I know you were waiting for another.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting.
We're hoping that there's going to be a tour this week, and we will absolutely, if there is not a Tuesday tour video that goes up on Tuesday, late Tuesday or Wednesday, it's because we did not have tour in our office. And you can always reach out to us and watch our old ones as well.
Yeah.
But we will put one up if there's tour, but we never know until Monday night whether there's going to be tour or not. Although I do think we're going to have 2 of our listings on tour this week.
Yes.
Because that was the plan. Because they've not been on tour yet, and they're just not getting highlighted to people, I think. And we decided we're going to put them on tour. Hopefully then we'll be able... You have no idea how many times I've just not said so.
Agents to have a look through, and if they've got any
Hopefully
clients
there are
or
other
investors.
Hopefully there are other properties that haven't sold as well that are available for tour, and we'll have a great Tuesday tour video for you.
Yeah.
Come late Tuesday or early Wednesday. And I think that is pretty much all we have for this. Oh, I do want to remind people that if you have not yet submitted your entry, let's go back to the PowerPoint here. I know we've had a couple of entries come in. So if you want to submit your holiday door decoration, like send over a picture or a description of what your favorite holiday door decoration is. If you have a picture, just send it over to Kimberly at tamthomes.com. Submit your favorite idea for a holiday wreath or door decoration. And if we have 10 or more submissions, we're going to draw from those 10 to win a $10 Dunkin' Donuts gift card, which we already have. The entry deadline is the end of November. This can be either a fall, could be a Halloween one, it could be Thanksgiving, it could be Christmas, it could be just a winter themed door decoration. So
Sorry,
yeah.
had an itch.
I wasn't going to go back on camera with him contorting over here trying to itch his back. All right, so definitely send in those entries. We'd love to see what you think would make a great door decoration. We've not had any conversation this week, so we're going to go ahead and end on that. Thanks everybody for joining us, and have yourself a great real estate week. And if you have any questions, you know where to find us, right here on Real Estate for Real People.
Otherwise, we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week. Bye.